Field. It's opening night for high school football in the state of Illinois. Tonight, our Urbana Tigers get set to take on the Ironmen of Normal Community High School. Hello, everybody. I'm Joey Wright, joined by Miller Calhoun. Miller, it's great to have you back for another season of high school football on the Tigers Media Network. Lots to talk about and not a lot of time to do it. How did the Tigers shape up against this Ironmen team tonight?
You know, size matters in some sports, but in football it doesn't. You know, sometimes you got to be. Quickness and speed are key, and that's what this Tigers team has. They have a lot of speed and they have a lot of quickness. So if we can get the ball out on that perimeter, attack those edges, and find some holes, we could make this a game.
Certainly, Normal Community heavily favored heading into this one. They are back ready to receive the kick. Looks like it'll be Dimitri Turner-Winston kicking for Urbana. We'll wait on that. There are a few people in position to do so, so we'll see how that plays off. Could be Jeremy Rumsey there. But in any case, Normal Community back to receive the opening kick. And this could very well be an onside kickoff, Miller. The Tigers don't have a kicker on the roster this year, so we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, they love that onside kick, and it's just an opportunity for more possession. So I'm all for it, but it's just what Coach Walker decides.
Certainly. Jeremy Rumsey is kicking, and we're set to go for another season of high school football. Here it goes, Rumsey up to the ball. It is a little bit of a squib deal. It'll go out of bounds. And the flag is down. Miller, not an onside kick and not a kickoff either.
No, it was one of those in-between kicks, you know, as you said, the squib. And I tried to kick it away from him and maybe get it away from their returner, but, you know, not a very successful squib kick.
Certainly. As the night goes along, we have a lot to talk about. As the Ironman offense takes the field, new coach Ordell Walker, his first game, a tough matchup. How do you think he'll do as the season goes along?
He's ready. He's been preparing for this moment. He's been waiting for this moment since last spring when he came to the school. And I know he's ready to go, so he's going to express that intensity through his players, and they'll be ready to go. So,
also ready to go is Ironman running back Varshawn Dixon. Gains about 6 on the opening play of the opening drive of the game.
And as you mentioned, Varshawn Dixon, he's one of our key players to watch, along with quarterback Dalen Bodie.
And Bodie's going to keep the ball here, and Bodie's going to run, finds a hole, finds a lot of space, does Bodie, and he gets to about the 20-yard line before he's brought out of bounds by 3 Tigers. Josh Marshall was there, Jeremy Rumsey was there, and Miller, a fast-paced offense we're going to see from Normal Community tonight there in the no-huddle.
This is your classic spread offense option. Oregon likes to run a lot of this stuff. Auburn back with Cam Newton. A lot of this option style play.
Bodie is going to pass. The first pass of the game is going to the end zone, and he overthrew his man, Nick Hess.
That was a nice little corner route there. Just a little bit overthrown, but he was open.
Hess had Jeremy Rumsey beat.
Break for the Tigers right there.
Yeah, certainly. 2nd down and 10, the first play that has gone for the Ironmen without them having gained anything.
But that shows that they're not just a run-based team. They'll mix it up, and that could be deadly for the Tigers. We like to sell out on the run, and that play action come back to bite us.
Here's Bodie, and he's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown Ironmen, 45 seconds into the game. Normal Community strikes just about as quickly as people thought they would. This offense very high-powered, and Dylan Bodie into the end zone, 6-0 for Normal Community.
Yeah, not a great start on the defensive end. Not selling out on the. Well, I think we should start selling out on the run. I know I contradicted this earlier, but you know, you got to take one or the other away. And they're not going to pass. They're going to run more than they're going to pass. So I say sell out on the run.
It's Jose Sukami, the kicker for Community. A flag is down. We'll see what the call is.
False start.
Yep. Could have used that a play ago. And I apologize. I could be off on that first name. So it'll be, they'll go 5 yards back and try the kick again. Sukami, number 83. Only kicker listed for Normal Community. And as we see him get ready to kick the ball here, this next offensive drive for the Tigers is going to be pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, see what they got in store. I mean, it'll be the first offensive drive of the season. Hopefully they. Now, what I've heard from many players. They're going to run a basic option offense, a triple option, lots of option plays with lots of tosses and lots of keepers, and and it's all based on the foundation of making the read off that defensive end, both defensive ends on each side and the linebacker, the outside linebackers. That's crucial.
And Miller, we've got the players to run such an offense. You look at Christian Phillips, who will get the start at quarterback tonight, sophomore. He's young,
yeah,
but he's got all the tools to make the big plays that we need at quarterback.
Yeah, this whole Tigers team as a whole is very young. I mean, you got, I made a tally of it earlier today, and we have 4 sophomores and 17 juniors on the team. So that doesn't leave much room for the seniors. So
no.
A lot of experience to be gained here.
The big senior to watch on offense will be center Jake Luffman and I guess Dimitri Turner-Winston at running back. One player we don't have on the offensive side of the ball, Chico Lipscomb, out with a hamstring injury. I was talking to Christian Phillips on the sideline before the game, and he said that'll be big, but he thinks that they can make the plays.
Yeah.
Watch for Mike Maboyo on offense to step up.
Yeah, Mike was here last year on varsity. He's a good receiver. He can make plays and catch the ball. I mean, that's always important. So, he's definitely a threat. And I wouldn't be surprised onside kick right here, Joey. Get the ball right back for their offense.
Well, kicking is number 29. And we'll see how it goes. Josh Marshall is back to return it. And Marshall will get the opportunity, fields it at about the 11-yard line. Josh Marshall, defensive back for the Tigers, takes it across the field. He will get to the 19-yard line before he's brought down by several Ironmen. The key one in that tackle, number 42. My spreadsheet is failing me.
Got a couple of key players to watch on the Ironman defense. Number 2, Landry Mafungu, and big 73, Rob Cradle down in the middle. A big guy in the orange, right? 73, right in the middle. Defensive tackle. Could create some problems.
We'll see. First play of the game. Christian Phillips, our quarterback. Man in motion. The snap is dropped. Phillips is going to pick it up, and he's going to go down for about a loss of 5. And Miller, that's what we kind of expected from Christian. Not a knock on him, but he's a sophomore starting varsity week 1. You're going to see those nerves pop up as the game goes along.
Yeah, those nerves are going to be there. I mean,
especially at the start.
You could show like you're ready to go, you're hyped up, but those nerves are still going to be there regardless of how you think you feel and how you portray yourself on the outside. There's nerves are going to be there. Oh,
stuffed at the line is Turner Winston.
Big
check that. Lavoy Young getting the start at running back tonight.
That was a huge tackle by, I think I caught number 5. Could be right, could be wrong about that. Maybe number 4, but huge stop up there. Right up the A-gap, linebacker.
3rd and 15. Miller, a departure from how I've thought previously, but I think he just run the ball here and don't turn it over or do anything.
Yeah, don't force
aggressive.
Yeah.
We'll see. Phillips is going to keep it, and Phillips is in trouble. Phillips goes down inside the 10-yard line. I think he went down at about the 8. So it'll be 4th down and very long. Lost 6. So it'll be 4th and 21.
Yeah, and see, this is why the Tigers offense is trying to get the ball on the outside of the perimeter, because they know they don't have the offensive line to be running straight up the middle or to the gut, and you know, they don't have the offensive line to do all that, so they're trying to get the ball out on the outside, or hopefully there aren't as many bodies out there to get it, and they can get out there before the Ironmen get over there. But it hasn't worked so far, so we'll have to see how that goes.
Not an awful punt from Rumsey, and it's fielded, and we're going to see a return to the 25 from number 4, C.J. Christian.
Good tackle by, I believe that's Jeremy Rumsey, 29. Geez, I'm not having very much success with these numbers.
No, the spreadsheet that spreadsheets that we've made, a little bit of a different format than what we usually do. They're dual-sided and they printed off. They're flipped over on one. It's a work in progress.
Yeah,
it's week 1.
It's week 1. You know,
yeah.
Got to give us a little break here.
Certainly.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
That we will. And getting about
good tackle by Jake Luffman.
75% of the way to the first down, Varshawn Dixon. We'll see a lot of these players go on both sides of the ball, Miller. Luffman's one of them, the Tigers center. We see him on the defensive line as well.
Another one of the key players I circled on mine was linebacker A.J. Fox. I don't know if he's in there.
Bodie has a ton of time to throw this ball, and he'll throw to the end zone for a touchdown. Reception number 5, Jalen Coleman. And just like that, the Ironmen up 14-0 early on. Not the start the Tigers wanted, but it's still early. 8:45 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, not the best start, but you know.
Games are not won and lost this early.
No, and you can't keep your head down. I mean, they're here to play. They've worked hard for this, and now's not the time to sulk.
Certainly not. I spoke with Coach Nathan Watson on the football field earlier, now the coach at STM. He's the coach. He was the coach for several years at Urbana High School. That hit the upright and went in. And, you know, he has a lot of experience opening against teams like Normal Community, Danville. It seems like we draw them almost every year. And he told me, you know, they always come out and spit and fire. The Ironmen, the Vikings, you know, whoever you have, they're always ready to go, be it on the road or at home. And we're, unfortunately, it looks like experiencing that right now.
Yeah. And I think our players could take note of how these teams, a Normal Community, Danville, Peoria, Notre Dame, how they handle themselves and how we want to get to that point of where they are.
Certainly. And, you know, the first game of Ordell Walker's tenure here at Urbana High School, hopefully his era. You know, he's a great coach, great guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy, great coach. I mean, he knows he's a football guy. I mean,
certainly.
Commanding presence. I mean, the players really respect him, and I feel like he's more in tune with the players than previous coaches. And I'm not trying to name anybody specifically, but, you know, I think he's got a better connection with them and he relates better to them. But it's got to be on the field. I mean, no results. I mean,
right. And Normal Community is the 6th ranked team in the state, in the 7A class. So it's like, and I'm not trying to write the game off either here. We've still got a lot of football to be played. But it's going to be an uphill battle for sure. The Tigers.
But now, if we could score against this Normal Community team, that's just going to give us confidence against teams like Central, Centennial.
Definitely.
You know, Peoria Manual.
Yeah, Centennial next week. We could, I think we match up pretty well against the Chargers next week. Marshall's going to get another shot at it. And he fields it at the 17-yard line. Josh Marshall, number 13, gets a few holes, and he's going to get to the 20. He got to the 28. We'll see if they give him forward progress. Brought down at about the 26. So it'll be interesting to see where they spot it at. And what we saw on the last drive for the Tigers, you mentioned it, our offensive line just so overmatched from a size perspective against this Ironman team. It's going to be tough for Phillips to, you know, or
to operate.
Yeah.
I mean, just to get any positive yardage is going to be a challenge. But I think once they figure it out, they'll get it. But it's going to be a challenge.
It's a handoff to Johnny Wathira. Didn't get back to the line, and he's going to be brought down for a loss.
See, that was a nice little play though, right there. I mean, they had. That's what they want to do right there. Get in space. There was some holes there, but the gaps did close quickly. And obviously, this Ironman team is good at tackling. I mean, they got some good tackling technique, so they're gonna have to make some moves.
Yeah, they've got D1 talent on defense.
Yeah, I mean, probably all across the board.
This will be a false start against Urbana. Not what we needed. It'll back them up to 2nd and 18. I want to mention a beautiful night for football here. You could not ask for better weather for high school football. About 70 degrees here at kickoff. It should cool off a little as the night goes along. You might even need a light jacket before we're said and done here.
Slip mine on at halftime.
Yeah. Beautiful night. Low dew point. That's what keeps it feeling cool. First pass of the game is complete. Didn't get back to the original line. And wait and get a number on the receiver. It was number 4, Mike Maboya. 3rd down and long. You know, maybe you take a shot down the field here. I mean, you run the ball, it's almost a foregone conclusion. You're not going to get enough for the first.
Yeah. And they don't have any guys back there, but there.
Christian Phillips, he couldn't quite get the hole. He's pushed forward, so we're back to the 31. Or actually back to the 30. The pile went a little further than the ball did. Rumsey's coming on for the punt, which I don't disagree with at all. 30-yard line. Cheerleaders coming alive. We'll talk about them as the night goes along.
They're always into it.
They are. They do a good job. They do well at competitions. Our pep band, our marching band, as they're called, for a great punt by Rumsey. I've got to interrupt what I was saying there. I don't like to do that, but a fantastic punt by Jeremy Rumsey. Good blocks for C.J. Christian.
Yeah, he just tripped a little bit. Otherwise, that might have been. He might have been going to the big house right there.
Yeah, we might have seen the Tigers' offense out a lot sooner than we wanted to see him.
I feel we're going to be seeing that a lot tonight.
Certainly. Back to the pep band. They're playing right now, and they do a pretty good job. Strength in numbers. They've got about, I think, 99 was the turnout this year. I don't know if they have quite that many over there, but it certainly looks like they've got 90 plus.
Yeah.
If they're, assuming most everyone showed up, and by all accounts, they have done so. It's 1st and 10 from the 43. Handoff. And this is what the Tigers wanted. This is going to be a big loss for Varshawn Dixon. He's pushed back at least 10 yards. That'll be a loss of 12. The first big play we've seen for the Tigers on defense tonight. And that's what this defense is capable of, Miller.
Yep, and the big tackle by Jerome Rao right there. Linebacker. Push him back.
We'll see Jerome at tight end as the night goes along. It's 2nd and long pass to a wide open Jalen Coleman. And Jalen Coleman, who caught the last pass for a touchdown, is going to get inside the 20-yard line. Check that was Nick Shaber, number 9. Well, I guess it's the law of averages.
That 2nd and 17 went away pretty quickly right
That it did. Almost instantaneously. 1st down and 10 from the 20. Normal Community in the red zone again. Bodie is the lone man in the backfield. He's going to pass.
Oh.
That was a good, Mike Maboyo had a shot at picking that off. He wasn't quite in position for it, but Shaber was overthrown. And that was a good look for the Tigers. That's what they need more of. He's probably going to throw for a touchdown after I say this, but Dalen Bodie has not, his passes haven't been all that great to this point.
Yeah, he's had some
good ones.
Some good ones, some bad ones, but
man in motion, it's Shaber.
Obviously that's not the main focal point of their offense. It's running the ball and forcing it down the opposing defense's throats, and then do a little play action, bubble screen type plays.
Yep. And Miller, it looks like we've adjusted to that in this drive. No matter the outcome, this has been the best defensive look for the Tigers thus far. 3rd and 9, big 3rd down and 9 with 5:18 left in the first.
Don't exclude that run. I mean,
yeah.
Don't exclude. Yeah, there it goes.
Handoff to Dixon, and Dixon's brought down. So the first stop for the Tigers, Normal Community will likely bring out Sukami for the field goal attempt.
Looks like they're going for it, Joey. I mean, there's nothing to lose right here, right now.
I guess you're right.
Them. I mean,
no mercy from the Ironmen. A big 4th down. It's 4th and 6 from the Tigers' 16-yard line. It's Bodie. He's going to look quickly and finds Jalen Coleman for a 1st down to the 5-yard line.
They needed that. They needed that stop, and they just couldn't come up with the tackle right there.
Coleman almost brought down immediately after making the reception. They couldn't get him.
You need those ones right there, though. Those are,
yeah,
got to have those.
No kidding. 4:30 left in what's been a very quick first quarter. Man in motion, it goes to Dixon, and Varshawn Dixon gets to the 2-yard line. You've got to figure no matter the outcome of this drive, and it certainly looks poised to end in an Ironman touchdown, the Tigers have to answer offensively. And a touchdown run for the Ironmen. It's 20-0 early on. And now we will see Sukami come out for the kick.
Yep.
4:04 left. Normal Community has found the end zone every time they've been out on the field offensively. Jacob Meeker is warming up on the sideline, the backup quarterback. He's warming up with...
No good.
As Sukami misses the extra point.
No, he is getting good lift on that ball, though.
He is. Each of his kicks has gotten worse. He hit the upright his last time out.
He's pushing it left, yeah. Good point. You know, the schedule doesn't get easier from here, Joey. I got to tell you that much.
Well, it actually... I would disagree. I would say it gets a bit easier for at least a week. Centennial, not quite as good as this Normal Community team. But from what we've heard, it's week 1. You could very well be correct. But yeah, week 3 we have Peoria at home. That won't be.
Yeah, that
won't be a fun one.
Could get a lot of scouts out here for that one, though.
We could. Only 4 home games for the Tigers this year. Obviously tonight against Community. September 8th against Peoria. Saturday, September 30th against Central, and October 20th against Manual.
Especially since Peoria Central produced Illinois, one of Illinois' newest faces, Kendrick Green, linebacker.
Also played baseball. We saw him in action on the diamond as Marshall gets another chance. Tripped up. I don't think he would have had anything there. Oh, that was a cheap shot there on the part of Normal Community, number 10.
Judah Coco?
Judah Coco came in, and you saw that he kind of kicked Marshall as he was getting up. Of course, it doesn't go our way, but that was not clean from Coco. I am not a fan. Block in the back, the actual call.
Oh man, not clean with
not clean.
Never thought I'd hear Coco and clean in the same sentence. But
baseball player named Coco Crisp. Sounds like a cereal.
Yeah, he's a good player, Coco Crisp.
He is still in the league. Is he?
He's
I think
not
a free agent this year. Never got picked up, or maybe he retired. I don't know.
False start. Right tackle.
I talked to Coach Walker before the game, and he said unforced errors were what would bring the Tigers down, and that hasn't been the case. We're not in the position we are because of unforced errors. But.
And I said right tackle, excuse me, defensive end, right end, since we're on offense now. So used to them being on offense.
Yeah. Well, it's an honest mistake. I mean, both teams wearing orange and black. Phillips is still in the game. Meeker, nothing came of him warming up, although Coach Walker said that they would both see action tonight. So we'll see how that goes. Man in motion, it is Marshall. Gets hit hard, but cleanly. The Tigers are close to their first down of the game.
That was a sandwich right there.
Perhaps that was not a clean hit. We've got a flag.
A little bit of a knuckle sandwich right there.
See what the call is. All right, a personal foul against Normal Community. That one goes against number...
Alec DeVici.
Alec DeVici.
Good Italian name, DeVici.
So that... I hope Coco on the sideline saw that. And I hope he thought to himself, I deserve that penalty too.
I don't think so, but,
1st and 10 from the 39, the Tigers' first down of the game. Man in motion, it's with Thera here. And play action. And Phillips under pressure. Phillips has some speed back there. He won't get back to the line, takes the sack. Probably should have thrown that away. And he loses 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 14.
Not the most, you can't always, there's always some, he doesn't quite get it out of bounds, somebody picks it off.
Yeah.
But it is good athleticism to escape the defender coming and then turn around and make some sort of effort out of it. I mean,
in future games, he'll probably realize that maybe he can look up and see if somebody's open to probably hit him.
Dimitri Turner-Winston, his first run of the game, gets it to the 40-yard line. Well, they're going to mark it down at the 39. It's one thing I struggled with last year, and I guess I'm still struggling with now. I'm always about a yard off from where the officials are.
So far this year, I'm struggling identifying numbers. It's my, I don't have the best eyesight, but I wasn't born with that. But
here's Phillips. Phillips is going to have to get rid of it here, and he takes a sack at the 39. Should have brought your bifocal, your monocle.
Well, I'm already
wearing
some contacts, so.
All right.
But
I didn't buy the extra strength ones. That's not how contacts work. I know.
You said sack there, but he's making some great effort out of it.
He got back to the line.
Yeah, and it's like
it might go down in sack as in the book, but he's working back there. I mean, we know the line's not very good, but he's having to run back there every single time to escape pressure.
High punt from Rumsey. No Ironman will touch it. Hey, and we're going to get a little chippy here with Jake Luffman and look like number 26.
Yep, 26.
Mike Hampton. Hampton took his helmet off, yelled at Luffman. It didn't look like Luffman initiated that. Jake Luffman, by all accounts, he's a senior. We've talked about him to this point. By all accounts, plays the game with a lot of class. His father, a dean here at Urbana High School. His brother, Luke Luffman, just recently committed to Illinois, the University of Illinois, for wrestling.
Good buddy of mine, known him since first grade.
Certainly, yeah, he very talented wrestler.
Very proud of him.
Luke is he's one of the better people you'll meet. Yeah. Really is. I say that. Yeah, it's genuine.
I was hoping he'd keep his options open a little bit, maybe consider other schools, but that's not my decision. Not my decision.
He's good enough too. I get, if you're set in Illinois, you're set in Illinois. Nothing wrong with that.
That's true.
Even though,
staying home.
Yeah.
Representing the city. Can't argue with that.
Homegrown prospect. When I think wrestling, I always think Penn State.
I always think Iowa.
Okay.
And then looks like they might call it dead ball foul on Jake. Yeah.
It's football.
So basically nothing. It's 15 yards back, 15 yards forward, so nothing. They could have just said offsetting penalties, but
they made everyone walk back and then walk back up because everyone's got to get their steps in down there. They're not working hard enough on the field. 1:49 left in the first quarter.
Got to get those 20,000 steps. You know what I mean?
Please, all their Fitbits. The ball is dropped. It's a fumble recovered by Urbana. A.J. Fox, the leader of this Tigers defense. Urbana deserved to have the ball, and now they do. A call I borrowed from Mike Tirico, the Outback Bowl a few years ago that Jadeveon Clowney hit. Remember that?
Yes,
South Carolina deserved to have it in there, too. Yeah.
That won't ever go away.
No, man.
I think the guy's name was Smith. Some Smith, the guy who got hit. And he'll never forget that moment. I'm sure.
No.
I'm sure of that.
I'll never forget that moment.
No, I mean, the crack of that. Oh, God. Gruesome.
The Tigers.
Say gruesome.
The Tigers perhaps in business is Jake Meeker in at quarterback.
Yeah, I'd like to see what Meeker can show here. Christian was having a little bit of struggles.
As Meeker drops the snap, and
smart play right there.
It was a very smart play to just go down with it. He got it back. So striking similarities between the first play of Phillips' game and the first play of Meeker's game. as we see Meeker
Appears
drop the snap.
we need some stick your gloves is what we need.
Stick 'em.
You know, that's not the first time I recall that happening. We get a turnover off a quarterback not catching the ball. I remember that happening to Centennial a few times in a game here last year.
That Centennial game we played last year, the home opener of last season, 48-8 didn't go our way, but it was a fairly close game.
You know, we were up 8-0.
Yeah.
Thought we had it. 40 unanswered points. Hopefully they can do something on this 3rd and 10 right here. If they get a few more yards and they're still short, I'd say go for it. You got nothing
Even
to
if we
lose.
don't get anything here, I don't think we'll punt. We'll see. It's Meeker shoveling it to Phillips. Christian Phillips is going to run with the ball, and he's going to get about halfway to the first down, marked down at the 29. So just like that, it's 4th and 4. So, I mean, that's exactly what you said. If we get, you know, close enough to it.
Yeah, that's your option play right there, the pitch. It counts as a pass in the stat book, so completion right there for Meeker, first of the year.
10 seconds left, first quarter. Meeker, man in motion, it's with Thera. Turner
Offside.
Winston, that's going to be offsides. First down, Urbana, with 4.5 seconds left in the first. That's how you do it. Normal Community, they seem a little too confident to me. I think they should be up by a lot more right now. We're seeing it kind of in their behavior. The clock's going to run out. The first quarter is over. Yeah, I hope they didn't snap it after I said that. That's what I kind of thought would happen. But, yeah, no, but, you know. Oh, an untimed down here at the end of the first quarter, so I guess I was wrong.
Yeah.
So essentially a free play.
Well, not
really.
Well,
I guess you'd say it was a free play if it was at halftime or the end of regulation.
Yeah.
A play that will have ramifications on how the second quarter begins. Meeker takes the snap. He is under pressure. He's got to get rid of it. He can't do that. That's a sack. Credit the
Number
sack.
8, Dalton Tevis, who is one of the aforementioned players that we talked about earlier, who's got multiple D1 scholarship offers, according to the good science teacher, Mr. Miggett, whose son committed to Army last week. So good for him.
Play for the Black Knights, Mr. Dennis Miggett.
Best teacher in the school, huh?
Oh, I don't know about that.
No.
Mr. Davis has to be up there in that conversation. You have Foley for A-Push, don't you? I feel sorry for you.
No, well.
Foley's cool. Foley's a great guy. Who else is up there in that conversation?
Stillwell,
Mr. Nick Stillwell, of course.
No, he asked for a shout-out. I guess this is a shout-out right here.
I suppose it is.
You know, we only got so much airtime to give up. You know, we can't be.
No, can't. I'd shout out the whole marching band if I could. My brother Johnny Wright plays the sousaphone over there, so credit to him. 12 minutes left, second quarter. About ready to go.
I'd like to see a score here. That'd be nice.
I'd love to see a score.
Get some more progression on this Ironman defense, and we'll work down the field. Hopefully get a touchdown.
You look at the trends. The team going towards the end zone with the flagpole behind it has scored 20 points in each of the quarters we played so far. That's
true.
That's a 100% success rate. So who knows?
Could be good fortune.
Well, if it is good fortune, the Tigers are going to have to work to earn it. Second and 18, first play of the second quarter. It's Phillips in motion, and he's going to, that was almost intercepted. Here's Christian Phillips. He gets knocked out at the 30. Gain of 2.
I'd say we go for it if we do not.
Definitely. We don't have anyone who can kick a field goal, and you should,
Oh, if Artem would have.
Ooh,
Well, now I don't know.
sacked. Yeah, that was a curveball.
Sack by number 4 C.J. Christian, defensive back, coming in on the corner blitz.
Rumsey's he's staying on the sideline.
I guess if we get it far enough, I mean, it works as good as a punt.
Essentially, the defense hasn't been awful to this point.
No, not
Especially
not
recently,
terribly bad.
especially recently
Yeah.
they've stepped up. So we'll see. 4th down and 22. Meeker play action. He's got to throw it, and he does. It is dropped by Mike Maboyo there. I don't want to second guess anybody, but I don't know why you run a play action there.
That's not what I would have called
Certainly
myself.
not.
But not on 3rd and 4th and
22.
yeah.
I mean, it ended up being somewhat. I mean, Meeker got a chance to throw the ball. I don't know. It's risky.
Yep, certainly risky. The offensive line has just got to hold up for longer. I mean,
Handoff to Dixon. The defensive line is doing a really good job with Varjon Dixon, as good as he is. The defense
defense is doing a tremendous job, and they're selling for the run. I mean,
yeah,
they're selling all out for the run. They're not fooled on those fakes, which is good. I mean, that's what normal community hasn't been too successful with the pass so far.
Here's Bodie rolling to his left. He will throw it, and it's dropped. Dropped by Nick Hess. Hess, if you'll go back to the first quarter, was in the end zone fairly wide open, overthrown.
Yeah, that's the one. Those you really got to catch those.
Yeah.
He'll hear it from the coach on the sideline after he gets back on the sideline.
So it's 3rd and 14. For our sake, he can drop as many of those as he wants.
That's true.
Remember Colin Foley last year, the Notre Dame game, dropped the wide open pass that didn't end up playing a very big role in the outcome of the game.
How do you remember that? You remember the kid's name and everything?
Yeah, number 44, Colin Foley. I think he was their punter too, or something like that. He
got a better memory than I'll ever have.
You're right.
The only thing I remember about that game is we scored the highest point total of the season, almost double. 36,
39,
30,
something like that, yeah.
Something like that, but still.
First punt of the game for Community. Marshall, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Just walk away.
Don't touch it. A.J. Fox came in and he was getting. He's a smart player. I knew he wasn't going to touch it, but always a little.
Yeah, that's happened before.
It has happened.
We don't want to repeat. Okay, we don't need any deja vu here.
Going back to my memory and back to the Centennial game last year, you'll remember Mike Maboyo, the muffed punt early in the game. The play in question in which he muffed a punt and got one back later in the game, almost the exact same situation. It was muffed by the Centennial returner, and he got the fumble back. Tigers will have to drive 77 yards. They've yet to score if you're just joining us. 9:24 left, second quarter. Meeker, low snap. And LaVoy Young flipped over for a loss. I was running through some situations in my head, Miller, and the Tigers, they're going to have, if they could somehow manage to score on this drive, it'd be 20-7. You get another stop, score again. It's 2014. We've got the ball back after the half. They've just got to get in the end zone, and that's going to be offsides on Normal Community. Number 12, I believe, the offending party.
Alec DeVici again. That's his second penalty. He's going to take a seat.
DeVici, you'll remember earlier in the game, was flagged for trying to brown the beef, start a little brouhaha. 2nd and 8 from the 25, and it's Young brought down at the 19.
Tackled by Trey Hefner, who we have as one of our players to watch on both sides. Plays receiver and defensive back.
3rd and 8. The absence of Chico Lipscomb-Miller is glaring to this point. The offense hasn't been able to.
I was just about to say that myself. I don't know if they were planning to play him in the backfield, but you know, he's still a weapon and another guy who knows how to play on varsity.
Meeker's going to take off. Meeker's going to have enough for the first down. Jacob Meeker making plays. That's clutch.
And he might not show it, but he's got that sneaky athleticism.
Yeah, no, you think that if you're going to see something like that, it's going to come from Christian, but
yeah, I mean,
Meeker made it happen.
You gotta assume Normal Community's done a little bit of homework, and there's not much tape on Jacob Meeker.
No, not unless
there's more tape on Christian Phillips.
Yeah. And well, I guess again the law of averages comes into play. He's sacked for a loss of 5.
This play action is not working.
No,
you can't run. I'm just not understanding. It's just me, but you can't really. Play action. It doesn't seem to be the right play to run when your offensive line can't really block for more than 3 seconds. Just doesn't seem like the right kind of play call to me.
Yeah.
But I'm not the coach, so. Coach Walker knows what he's doing. Very intelligent football guy, so.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, here's Wathira. Johnny Wathira is brought down for a loss. It just seemed, if the run was effective at all, I think it would make more sense to be running the plays that we are, but we haven't gotten the run come in yet, to come in yet, and it just seems, it's like, I was about to quote Mean Girls, but I won't.
Yeah, let's refrain from doing
that. Here's Meeker. And Meeker's got to get rid of it. He will throw it away. That'll set up 4th and 22.
Jason's smiling over there. He knows he doesn't want to hear any of that.
It's relevant, but I don't know.
I mean, if it's really that relevant, you might as well just put it out there.
Say, like, stop trying to make fetch a thing. Stop trying to make the play action a thing. No?
No.
Not even a chuckle?
No.
Man, tough audience. Yeah, we're going to start beefing now. Oh. Punt from Rumsey.
Rumsey's got a nice little punt stretch going here.
Was that touched by the Ironmen?
No signal yet.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I was watching a block downfield there. 6:17 left.
And the Ironmen got to be thinking, you know, because the 40-point running clock. I can't imagine they're not thinking about that in the back of their minds, and they're thinking, let's shove it down their throats and let's get these quick 20 points here.
Yeah, get home.
Yeah, because you know that drive from Normal is no slouch.
It's not. You know, yeah. If I'm head coach West Temples, I'm saying, like, let's get a little insurance here.
Pedal to the metal,
yeah.
Fast and Furious style.
Which one of them? There are about 10 of those movies. Body's going to throw, and he finds Nick Hess. So Hess actually catches one.
Yeah, he made sure he was going to catch that one. There, nothing stopping him from dropping that one. But you know, I think according to the spreadsheet, I think a good strategy is you stay on one side and I'll stay on the other.
There you go. So you got defense. I got defense.
You got offense,
right.
And then we'll.
And then we know enough of our
micromanage here.
Yeah. All right. I like that. Pretty good turnout here.
Still filling in here in the student section. Slowly trickling in.
The Sweet Corn Festival going on tonight, you know.
Does take away some of the athletes because
the soccer team.
Yeah, soccer team. Basketball team I know is doing it at 9:30. I told Coach I would not be there for that.
Understandable.
I have to
support UHS broadcasting. It's my duty to fulfill.
We appreciate it.
Plus, I love doing this. So, I look forward to it.
Mark the football games on the calendar. And a big thanks to the viewers. All the loyal viewers who tune into these.
Yeah. Can't forget about them. They're the reason we do this every day.
No doubt. I would probably do it if people didn't watch. But
that's
just me. Yeah.
I'd still do it, but
I like hearing myself talk.
I like having a job, a purpose.
Yeah, there you go.
When you go to a baseball game, I just don't like sitting there watching. I like filling out the score, keeping score.
Yeah.
I like keep my mind going.
Certainly. It's 2nd and long, and it's Jalen Coleman. We'll get back to the original line, not much more than that. Gets to the 46.
Tigers defense have had lots of negative plays, tackles for loss. They've had lots of those tonight, which is good. I mean, it's a good sign. Defense is working out there. Just tackling is still a bit of an issue in the open field, but it's high school level, so you're still going to have some of that.
Timeout Urbana. If the offense, man, if things kind of hold as they're going right now, I'm going to have a tough time sleeping tonight, knowing that if we could just get that offense going. And maybe we will, who knows. It doesn't help that we've got a lot of players going two ways, offense and defense. Especially a lot of the linemen are doing that.
Yeah, a lot of the linemen are getting lots of reps in, offensive and defensive line, Long drive on defense. Oh, yeah. What are you doing? No, you got to go back out there.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Mentally and physically.
That's got to be tough.
Good effort from the cheerleaders down there.
Kiarden.
Yep.
Doing some flips. Of course, I wouldn't know how to do that.
I can't even dive into a pool. I can jump into a pool. I can,
Yeah, I don't
make
know.
a splash, but I can't actually dive.
I don't know if I want to jump into a pool. Dive into a pool. Yeah.
No.
My legs just don't work like that.
I can't rotate my upper body enough. But more on that later as the breeze picks up. Dylan Bodie thought there was a offsides or something there. He's calling an audible hot route to his receivers. 3rd and 10, and Bodie completes it for a 1st and more. Down the sideline is Varshawn Dixon.
Bodie gets that ball out quick. I mean, they run a lot of quick hitters where he's not holding the ball back there too long.
These offenses really are very similar in the way they've gone
they're
about
both
their business.
They're both pretty basic. I mean, lots of lots of read options, because both teams have mobile quarterbacks. So.
And it's a keeper for Bodie. Bodie to the 10-yard line. Bodie to the 5. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Community. No flags. And the Ironmen finally strike again. It's 26-0.
He's a strong kid.
He is.
It's hard to see how strong people look on the football field when you get up close to them. Strong. Yeah. That's what I was talking about with open field tackling. Can't let that happen. Too many missed tackles right there.
Unless it's a fake, the Ironmen won't go for 2 to try and make it 28-0. They'll attempt the extra point. And it's up and through 27.
They're trying to get
nothing.
This kid as many kicks as possible. Get him right, because he seems like a young kid. So
yeah.
Integrate him get used to kicking. Because I know field goals aren't a big part of high school football games, but at some point you're going to need one of those field goals, and practice makes perfect. So
that, and trying to get him recruited for college.
Yeah.
Because
kickers,
it's easy to be a standout at the high school level,
especially
in the kicking position.
50-yard field goal scholarship right there.
Yeah.
Kick a 50-yard field goal.
Essentially.
Pretty much scholarship.
I feel like every school's got that one guy that he's not on the team, but there's just that rumor in the hallway, oh, he can kick it from 40 out, you know?
And they're usually playing soccer.
They're usually playing soccer. Sometimes they're not even doing that. So it's just there's always that guy.
Yeah, I just don't know how they do it. I try it all the time, and I can hardly get the ball off the ground.
In 6th grade, my biggest dream was to be a kicker. In fact, I was a manager for my middle school football team. And coach told me, hey, you know, if you make one from 20, I'll buy the whole team a Gatorade. Never could make that field goal. I was the Charlie Brown of managers. Although I always got to, at least I always kicked it. It'll go to Marshall again, unless it goes out of bounds. That's a flag.
And another reason Chico is going to be missed tonight is his kick returning ability. He's got great explosiveness in the special teams game, and that was a crucial part of our offense last season. I mean, we must have generated at least 3 touchdowns off kick returns with him and Jamin back there.
Oh, Jamin was such a special talent back there. Now plays at Carthage. I'm a little disappointed we haven't seen Christian back there returning kicks. And, you know, you don't want your starting quarterback back returning.
Yeah.
But he returned one against Manual on senior night for Manual last year. It was on the road. Last game of the season.
Did you go to the Manual game, Jim?
I did not. And I'm glad I didn't, even though we won, because, you know, apparently it was about 30 degrees that night, rainy. Good football weather. Not good weather to watch a football game in, unless it's on TV. Meeker's brought down for a sack.
Number 8, Dalton Tevis, is just making it look easy out there.
College is going to look, you know, Scott's going to look at his totals for the season, and
you know,
have
there's
about
something
6 sacks this game to add to that.
You know, there's something strange about these. Your sacks are 6 games up. 6 games up than last year. Oh, did you play Urbana? Yeah.
How do you have the school record after week 1? This season record.
Tackles for loss.
Oh, and he's brought down again.
There, and this is yeah, we've heard his name a lot this year. Not this game so far.
Well, this year. I mean, the game is the year.
Yeah.
I'm interested to check up on the STM St. Joe score at halftime.
Football?
Yeah.
See how Coach
no,
Watson's
girls basketball. So, preseason game.
Come on, Joey. Our viewers would not know that. Come on.
Man, yeah, our viewers are smart. Come on now. Oh, man. No, but that'll be a good one. STM doesn't have great numbers this year, but Coach Watson says they've got some talent. And it's a fumble. It'll be picked up by Jerry Green. Number 55 recovers the fumble, I think. 51. Jeremy Machoro.
Good instincts to jump right on that ball, you know, not try to pick up and run with it, because that could lead to a whole bunch of different problems. Just get it, pounce on it, keep it.
St. Joe currently ahead 14-0. Shout out to Jason Liggett, our cameraman. For Stephen Thompson down there got it for us. All right.
Steven's working magic down there, huh?
Yeah, no kidding. Some sort of penalty. It's 4th and 27.
Don't be surprised if they try to get a quick score here before halftime.
Oh, my.
Now they're probably going to go for a block right here.
I'd bring the house. Don't even have anyone return it. Just we'll see. It's always scary when you've got a punt. You know, it doesn't matter what team you are. It's always scary when you're punting from your own end zone.
Yeah.
And Rumsey, Normal Community actually didn't go for the block. A beautiful punt. And it's muffed. Urbana has a chance to fall on it. They won't. And C.J. Christian, excuse me, is going to go. There's a flag down. A beautiful play from Christian to the end zone. I don't know how he made that work. Joe Adams-esque punt return, but a flag.
Our student section's going bananas right now.
Man.
A couple of guys
got a little grass. The grass there must have been a piece of grass that went away and cut their ankle and something.
Yeah. Let's see. The offense is still ready to come out onto the field for Community. Block in the back on Community. Yeah, I mean, as soon as you see the flag, you know what's coming. It's never good for the offense.
Usually when you get a block in the back, it's most of the time not necessary.
Yeah.
So that would have been a quick score that Normal Community needed. Quick score. But now instead they're 15 yards back from spot of the ball, so where they recovered it.
Now, Miller, the Tigers need to stop here. We're supposed to get the ball back after halftime. An onside kick would be the only way that we don't. We've made stops before. We need a big one here. Keeper for Bodie. Bodie's going to look and go down the field. Wide open receiver and a nice tackle from Rumsey. That was Isaac Hackward, the receiver, first down Community. First time we've called Hackward's name tonight. .203, the clock stops because it's a first down. And now it gets back going again. Bodie hands it off. This is to Dixon. Gained about 5. The marching band has moved down to the track for halftime. Bodie has a lot of space. That space goes away. He stays on his feet, and it's going to take about a whole team to try and bring him down.
Yeah, he still wasn't down.
Wow.
Strong kid.
Yeah, no, this Ironman team is aggressive. Very aggressive. 1:20 on the clock. And a lateral.
And this is going to be
a stop. Good defense from the Tigers. Minute 4 left in the half. Urbana's going to call a timeout. Their second of the half. So we'll look ahead to our upcoming broadcasting schedule. Saturday, September 2nd, we bring you soccer. It's part of the Urbana High School tournament. We don't know what time that game is as of now. Expect an announcement regarding that on Friday, September 1st. On September 7th, that's a Thursday, we bring you soccer against Centennial, a crosstown rivalry matchup at 6 o'clock p.m. And our next football broadcast the next day after that, it's football versus the Lions of Peoria Central. That's what's coming up on the Tigers Media Network.
Excited for that one. Probably not for the right reasons, but
Peoria Central had our number last year. In the last 2 years, they've had our number. And for my money, Peoria Central, some of the best uniforms in the Big 12. I mean, they are a well-dressed team.
Well, only the best for the state champions.
Certainly.
Got to remember that. They did win state last year, so.
Their win against us probably counted as 2 wins on their schedule.
Well, yeah, 79 points.
I was there for that one. It wasn't.
You were there?
I actually live tweeted that game. So if you go on my Twitter, you'll find the tweets. It was something. Into the end zone is Varshawn Dixon, touchdown. Oh, and we're going to get a little chippy here. That's DeVici.
Again?
Kid needs to calm down.
Yeah, it's going to be on him again.
Yeah. If I'm the officials right now, and I am an official myself, keep that in mind. I say, hey, that's 2 on DeVici. Forfeit. Urbana wins. That'd be my call.
That'd
be my call.
Sounds only a minuscule of a bit biased there.
No. I expect class from the players I officiate. In the NFL, a forfeit results in a 2-0 score. I don't know if that'd be the case in high school. No one really knows why it's a 2-0 score that they call a forfeit as. But it is. You don't want to hear the rage that's going to come if he gets his third personal foul call.
Well, I can hear the coach yelling at him from here, so, you know.
49 seconds left. 33-0 our score. If you're just joining us. In what has turned into a pretty well-attended game, you know, you mentioned the crowd a little slow to arrive because of the Sweet Corn Festival and what have you, but it's pretty full down there at the student section. Good parent turnout. And the kick is up and good. Wasn't the regular kicker. I don't think we have a 29 on our spreadsheet. So it's a nice extra point.
Don't have a lot of names on our spreadsheet. Probably that weren't included on the roster on the website.
IronmenFootball.com was the source for our roster.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Urbana. I'm sorry.
Oh, our roster's pretty good. I think we know.
No,
know
well,
everyone.
a few names, but you know, it's only a few. We did a pretty good job.
I'd like to think so. I take my spreadsheets very seriously. They're elaborate deals with, they're very colorful.
They're very organized.
Very organized. Our normal community ones didn't print out in color, but our Urbana ones are beautiful.
Well, I mean, we got different shades of gray.
Different, yeah. I mean, you could
black.
tell where the color is supposed to be.
I mean, we at least made an effort.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm very proud of these spreadsheets. There's little spaces for us to write in, whatever information we see fit as the game goes along. Because we're lazy, we've yet to do that. But little space for us to write in the officials, which we didn't do before the game. But they're doing a good job. Good job from the Stripes. Fall adult co-ed kickball starts next week, so I'll be back out on the field next Thursday at Prairie Park. Not Prairie Park. Well, yeah, the Prairie Park softball fields. Here's Johnny with Thera, taking it to the 39-yard line. 42 seconds left. Second half. The sun almost completely set here. Well, in fact, it is completely set, but you can still kind of see the remnants of the daylight sky.
Nice little crescent.
Certainly. We are completely under the light of the moon, but mostly the Musco lighting system installed here at McKinley Field. And Meeker couldn't hold on to that one. Do you think he just run down the clock? Or?
Yeah. Probably the smartest choice. Not going to get much in 27 seconds. In personal opinion.
The play clock is off. The half. Well, it looks like we're going to run one more play at least. Man in motion, it's Phillips. And he's going to go back the other way. And I don't know if we'll see a play or not. 6 seconds left now, 5-4. And with Thera here, this is the last play before halftime. He goes down, that's the half. Urbana enters the halftime break 34-0. Not what we wanted, but some positive takeaways, Miller, from this first half. Key among them, our defensive effort, which for a while was very good. I'm very proud of how our defense performed that first half.
Lots of tackles for loss.
which is always a good sign. But, you know, probably not the offensive start Coach Walker wanted to his career at Urbana High School. But it's only the first game and the first week. And I'm sure he'll reiterate to his guys what the game plan is, and, you know, get them pumped up, get them re-pumped.
Yeah, I mean,
get the intensity back in them, and hopefully get the second half turned around.
We will score in the second half. Mark my words. Mark them. We'll write that down when we get in the press box. But that's where we're heading right now, inside. We hope you enjoy the performance of the Tiger Marching Band. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Keep watching the Tigers Media Network. Got you back just in time for the second half from McKinley Field in Urbana, Illinois. It's Tigers football on the Tigers Media Network. We're set for the second half of action. Urbana down 34-0 against Normal Community. Shout out to our whole crew before we get going. Stephen Thompson's on our computer, Jason Liggett's running our camera, and Miller Calhoun is alongside me for commentary. And Miller, some good takeaways from the Tigers in the first half. Not the situation they want to be in right now, but I think that they'll score in the second half. I really do believe that they'll get on the board.
I hope so, Joey. I mean, it'll be a boost of energy for the whole complex, stadium, whatever you want to call it. Boost of energy, boost of confidence. I can go on and on,
Yep.
but, you know, that would be good. That would be a good start,
One
good
thing's for sure,
foundation.
I treat a score, you know, we could be down 200-0, and I would put the same zeal into announcing a touchdown for us. So that's, you know, expect that. 12 minutes on the clock in the second half, third quarter. Good kick. And it'll be fielded by nobody.
Oh, geez.
Urbana returns it here from the 4-yard line.
No, don't go backward.
And they're going to have about 99 yards to drive. Amari Broughton,
That was
no success on that return.
not a good play.
Should remind you the IHSA rule regarding the running clock. It would kick in at 40-point lead. If a team goes ahead by 40 at any point in the game, the clock runs for anything except timeouts or injuries.
And 30 after after 3.
30 after 3, indeed.
Yep.
So Tigers are in danger of going down 36-0. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, that was just a bad play overall all around right there. First you drop it, and then you go backwards.
Christian Phillips
And
back at
there's the
quarterback. He's sacked for a safety. 36-0, and we will see Urbana punt it away.
It's number 6, Jackson Pfeiffer. I've always had trouble with that. Pfeiffer.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, it's definitely strange. But he is awarded with the sack.
After the marching band plays at halftime, where do they go in the third quarter?
They go inside into the band room.
Okay. Oh, I see. They put their instruments up and then go socialize.
Yeah. There goes our good old buddy Marcus Washington.
Marcus Washington ran the camera for us a bit last year.
And attempted to do commentary, but with no success.
Oh, shade!
That was.
Man!
You said that yourself, Joey. You were throwing.
Hey, don't get me into that. Man, no,
I said he attempted. It was a failure.
no chill. Man, tell him how you really feel. What? You guys get into an argument before he came on the air? Man. Urbana will punt it away. It'll be Jeremy Rumsey. I guess you can kick after a safety in the IHSA.
So apparently I'm bogus for saying attempted, which I wouldn't even call it that because he didn't say a word.
Okay, man. All right, we're gonna move on and kick the topic away here, man.
Geez, I didn't think it was that bad. I could have gotten a lot worse, but
I'm sure you could have. Normal Community.
ooh.
Out of bounds. Nick has to return. It's turned into a fairly chilly night here.
Yeah, I was not expecting this myself.
Well, relatively chilly, I should say. More than fairly chilly. It's only 65, 60, you know.
Our
low 60s right now.
spreadsheet says it is supposed to be between 62 and 65 degrees.
That's what we've got,
according to
the Weather Channel.
Weatherman Wright.
Man, I'm no Kevin Lighty or Derek Faber. 1st and 10 from the 43.
Stephen Thompson.
And, ooh, a wide open Jalen Coleman. Jalen Coleman scored a touchdown earlier. He will score another one right now. There's the 40-point lead the Ironmen were looking for, 42-0. Our new score. Dalen Bodie finds Jalen Coleman for the touchdown.
Wide open slant route right there, and he just made a little shimmy hesitation right there, and he's to the house. So it wasn't very complicated. You know, when the Ironmen have been scoring tonight, it's been on big plays fairly quickly. When they have to sustain a long drive, they haven't had much success scoring the ball, which is a test. Ooh, there's
almost blocked.
Guy running onto the field. He was running onto the field when they snapped the ball. Is that a foul? Penalty?
No one seemed to throw a flag there.
I don't think anybody even. I don't.
Normal Community runs a lot of. I mean, they like to make substitutions. They did that a lot in the first half, where they'll have guys, you know, running on and off, and it's just it's how they play. You know what I've learned to look at more than the temperature lately is the dew point. The dew point, a very underrated stat when it comes to gauging humidity. Sure, you can look at the humidity percentage, but that does not always tell you the full story. You want to know dew point. If the dew point is below 60, I mean, you're rocking and rolling. That is a beautiful day. Under 65, it's bearable. And then you get up above, 66, 67, it's getting kind of muggy. And, just 70 or above, I mean, stay inside. It's rough. That's your dew point. Because a lot of people don't know about dew point. They look at the humidity. They don't go for the dew point.
I don't know how we got from football to dew point.
It's back to our weather tangent there.
But I'm sure the viewers appreciated that tidbit, Joey.
I'm saying, watch for the dew point. Josh Marshall catches it at the 9-yard line. And Marshall, not a lot of space to work with. Spin move, got to the 13-yard line. Or rather the 18-yard line. Marshall not very happy with himself after that play. Really, I mean, no reason for him to blame himself. Just a lot of Ironmen converged on him there and couldn't do anything.
For some reason, our guys like to stop and then turn around and go the same way they came from, which, you want my parents always told me the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and I'm not seeing a lot of that from us tonight.
Because where we could gain 5 yards,
we're losing.
We lose, yeah.
Exactly.
And it's Phillips. Phillips is back in at quarterback. A nice pitch to Young. And Young doesn't quite get back to the original line. It'll be a loss of 2.
Victory. Hands at the ball for victory.
You should be down there with the cheerleaders.
After standing up here for so many years, through all my experiences and wisdom learned, I've come to understand that cultivating and moving chants of the cheerleaders.
Yeah. So you picked up a few of them as well.
Really plants a seed in your body.
Yeah. They stick with you.
A motivational seed.
Right. Whenever you're taking a test, you just picture cheerleaders in your mind, you know, J-O-E. What? Pass that test.
You can get this A.
Today.
Yeah.
Man, we need to send these into Miss Thomas. Oh, a fumble.
Oh,
That'll be picked up by Community. Oh, it's bobbled by, no one has picked it up yet. Urbana's gonna fall on that. Great effort, I couldn't catch it. They're still fighting for it. The play is dead. I'm hoping things don't get very chippy here. They're still going after it down there for the ball. Recovered by Urbana, flag is down. It looked like it was Jerome Rowell that recovered it.
Things are getting chippy.
Things were pretty chippy in the first quarter. They settled down a little bit in the second.
You know, the games around here have been getting chippier and chippier, you know. At the end of last year, we had a lot of chippy games. Tonight's been pretty chippy as well, you know.
Right. And that has to deal with the first game of the year. Normal Community's instigated quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, they have. And Urbana's we're playing the game the right way. And that's not to say that most of the players on the Ironmen aren't doing the same as well. But
everybody's anxious to get the season off. And I know we're pressing right now. We're frustrated with ourselves. I mean, we haven't been playing up to standards and, you know, had decent expectations coming into the year. And we're not living up to it right now. And that creates frustration. And you want to take it out on something. So, and I don't blame them.
Local gets number 56, Nick Stoner on the Ironmen. Tigers first down. So from a play that we had no business getting a first down on, Tigers are going to make something out of that.
That's got to be at least three, 4 unsportsmanlike personal foul conduct penalties that they've had tonight. Coupled by one, DeVici.
DeVici.
He's had 2. And that one right there, and then I think they had another one as well. So,
Judah Coco didn't get flagged for his shenanigans.
Yeah, that's true.
But I picked up on it.
Yeah, you were all over that one.
I was, yeah.
And
thrown away by Phillips.
I didn't know the ref would. No.
Man.
I thought the ref was going to go in and catch that one.
Yeah. That's a smart play from Phillips, though.
Yeah, throwing it away. And both quarterbacks, him and Meeker, have been under pressure all night.
I don't.
You know.
The line, our line has not been great tonight, or even very good. But I don't think they'll be quite. You know, they'll improve as the year goes along. Intentional grounding.
Yeah, and that's the fear
Phillips.
of throwing it away.
Yeah. One of the fears. But, you know, with some experience, our line will improve. And perhaps in games where we're not so overmatched, they'll improve as well. Because Normal Community comes into this game as the 6th-ranked team in the 7A class.
And
they're big, they're strong.
Big 12 as a whole has got a lot of teams in that top tier of state. I mean, a lot of big-time programs in this conference.
Yeah, that'll be it. Be offsides against.
Yeah. Neutrals on infraction. Yeah. That's 3 of those tonight.
So we'll see that go the other way. Or not the other way. I was going to say. What I meant to say was the intentional grounding play now a moot point.
And then they also had that penalty on when Jake and Mike Hampton got it on the 26 linebacker for Community.
Yeah.
Where they're throwing the helmet's off. And
Hampton threw his helmet off. Luffman kept his on. Phillips is actually going to, well, wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Or tackle for Dalton Tevis.
Subbing into the game.
Rob Cradle.
Rob Cradle.
He hasn't done much tonight, but, you know, his presence alone, you know, could cause some.
When we realized there were pictures of the the student body realized there were pictures of the Ironman football players on their website, Rob Cradle stood out. That guy's big.
Oh, well, see, there's.
Oh, Phillips almost got out of that.
And Cradle, that was all Cradle right
Yeah.
there. Pushing the line, getting right in the quarterback's face and almost taking him down. But
Dude's big.
Dalton Tevis finished it off for at least his third sack.
Such a good football name, Dalton Tevis.
I like Rob Cradle myself. That's a good football name.
That's a very good football name. 4th and 11, and Rumsey will come on to punt.
False start, maybe.
Clock continues to run. 4 minutes left, third quarter. Still 4th down, but it's 4th and 6 rather than 4th and 11. Rumsey still on to punt. And he bobbles it. And Rumsey's done a fantastic job punting tonight. Not touched by Nick Shaber. And a punt that's going to land at the 5-yard line is where it ends up. Jeremy Rumsey has done a fantastic job.
If there was one bright spot besides tackles for loss on the defense in the first half, it's been the punting of Jeremy Rumsey. It's a good punt right there. That's great. That's how you want to execute a punt like that.
He's done and you look back to last year with Malcolm Thompson. We had great punts from him, you know. Not so much the ones that Tyler punted. Those were more apt for the blooper reel, but
I'd say Jeremy's put himself. He's very consistent, though. I'd say that he's very consistent. He's shown it all night so far.
I think he's gotten better since the game.
Yeah, definitely.
And you want to talk about tackles for a loss? To the 1-yard line, almost a safety.
That was 77. Who is that? Trinell
Hartfield, the senior. And, all right, tackled at the 6-yard line.
Good tackle right there.
2 minutes left in the quarter. And here we go.
Oh, jeez.
A fumble. The ball on the ground. It's picked up by Jerome Roll, it looked like. Is this going to be Tiger football?
Should be.
It will be, yep.
Yep. Nice job. Another forced turnover.
Jerome Roll on the recovery. Was that DeVucci that ran? It looked like Aiden Oliver, their backup quarterback and wide receiver. Yep.
Good eye there, Jason.
Jason, look it on the camera. Looked like 12 from here. Minute 20. Ball on the 20-yard line. Urbana in the red zone for the first time this evening.
Somebody looks pretty shaken up over there. Trying to get a number.
And as we await that, certainly don't want to speculate as to what that injury is, but you're right, someone on the Tigers sideline is down. Urbana will call a timeout, I believe. Yep. That official should have gone into a career in music with how he's blowing that whistle.
You just don't stop, Joey. You just don't
I
quit. Don't quit.
I don't want to misidentify him, but that looks like it's Jerome down on the ground. The new uniforms for the Tigers this year. They have numbers on the shoulder pads, TV numbers on the sides there, the sleeves, I guess you'd call it. So it looked like a 5 from here, but he's on the ground, and there are a few players on the in front of him.
The NFL broadcasters got it easy up there. They got the names on the back of the jerseys.
Oh, they've got spotters, is what they have. They've got a guy. They hire a guy just to point to the name. It's his job to look for whoever the player is, and he'll just point. They've got it cushy.
That sounds like a good job.
It does sound like a good job.
You know, the NFL's loaded, so you know they're paying good.
They're paying well. The networks, Fox, NBC, ESPN, CBS. Tony Romo is a CBS analyst now. Meeker couldn't.
Another bobbled snap.
Jacob Meeker back in at quarterback, and he couldn't hold on to it.
Looks like they hurry up here. We'll have one more play for the half. This will be the last play unless it's an last play because clock is running.
And
another fumbled snap.
We'll see who fell on it. It looked like this could be Ironmen ball.
Jacob's got it.
Okay.
Meeker still got it. I don't know if it's Meeker dropping it or if they're just bad snaps. I can't tell, but
they look a little low from here, but well. Some of them are low, some of them are high. Clock stops for the quarter break. And I guess we'll stop for the quarter break too. Man. Beautiful starless night in Urbana. Although that's just because of the lights of the stadium. We can't see them. There's a plane flying right up there above us. I'd speculate that it's a drone. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's most definitely a drone. Flies above us. Sounded a lot like a plane.
I don't know what the heck that is.
It's
it could be a
helicopter. Okay, well.
Could be a UFO for all I know.
Jason's feeding us bogus information.
Could be
It's a plane. It's a drone. It's a helicopter. It's
a helicopter.
It's a UFO
Man.
with aliens on it.
Get Tom DeLong on that.
As Mr. Foley would say, there's aliens.
Oh, man. And that's dropped.
Gosh.
That will be recovered by Normal Community, no doubt about that.
Gotta hold on to the football. You can't go anywhere
Except
without
for
the football.
Well, the only doubt about that was that it was recovered by Urbana.
Guys gotta learn how to hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Maury Broughton recovered that one. You into Blink 182 at all, Miller? And that answers that. So it'll be 4th and 30, and Urbana's going to go for it here. Why not?
If I remember correctly, I think the biggest fourth down I've ever seen was a 4th and 45.
There was one of those at Peoria last year. Something like that.
It's about to be in 4th and 35 now.
Now Rumsey will come on and punt. That was by design. The false start intentional to back him up 5 yards to give Rumsey a chance to punt it. I'm interested to see how this punt goes.
There's no one back to receive.
I'm gonna anticipate that this one's inside the 5.
Why is there no one back to receive?
I think we're going to fake it or something.
Stick it. Stick it.
Oh, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Get it! Go into the end zone for a touchback. That's why there was no one back to receive. They thought it was going to go into the end zone, and
That was a good
you don't return
punt.
that anyways.
You got to get down there and
he
touch
got
it.
that was Jake Luffman, I think, that got down. He got down there pretty quick.
Wow.
Man, just
That was
a
there. That was there.
Fantastic effort.
That was there. That was a great punt.
Our special teams unit this year is going to be pretty good from what I've seen tonight.
Go Tigers.
And tripping and falling.
Is there a kind of a substance on the
Way.
turf that we don't know about that's causing people to slip and drop the ball? And
I can tell you it's not moisture because our dew point
There-
tonight exceptionally low, at least by the feel of things. It's not dew or I mean it would
It could
have to
be-
be some sort of moisture, but it's not dew.
Could be Mountain Dew.
Man, when's the last time I had a Mountain Dew? Today
Of course.
during class, 7th hour. Or well, I was running passes. But 8:52.
Big third down right here. Get a stop, get the ball back for hopefully one more offensive series.
Mike Maboyo is going to come, and he's going to make the tackle, assisted by Deshaun Duncan. Defense comes alive and makes the stop.
Normal Community's got their backup offensive players in there, which is not unusual. Don't want to risk any injury, as evidenced by the Peoria Notre Dame game last year, where it was running clock in the second half. They still had their starters in, and their running back got hurt.
Yeah.
He had to be carried off the field. I do remember that. Timeout Urbana.
The perils of greed.
Oh, timeout Normal Community. Excuse me.
4th and 20 from the 10. That's what we'll face after the timeout. Shout out to public address announcer Kevin Bookie. Going to the Sweet Corn Festival, Miller?
I am not.
Really?
No.
Man.
Absolutely not.
Well, I'm with you.
Waste of my time.
I will. Man. I kid with Jason that I'm not going, but I more than likely will find myself out there tomorrow at some point.
First of all, you got the bad music.
Man.
Don't get me started on that. I had to suffer through that for a couple.
Ooh. Lit Up is
Knew that was coming.
Marshall. Yeah.
Might want to call for a fair catch on him.
It was a clean hit, but man, that was got lit up.
Number 9.
I don't have a problem so much with the music at the Sweet Corn Festival. I wish they would have booked Not for the Faint of Heart. Dan Wachtel and Austin Yancey, Jesse Huber.
That would have made it.
No, man.
That would have made it just a bunch better. That would have just made it a ton better.
They do a good job.
I went to a concert at Hessel Park, one of theirs.
Yeah.
And there were a bunch of older women in the audience, and as soon as they heard, and I tell you, as soon as they heard the first note of that, first
man.
lyric of that song, they jumped out of that chair so fast.
Oh, man. Oh, they do a good job. They were on the Joyride show this past season, episode 6.
It was like a kid jumping off the bus going into the candy store. They got out of that
man.
seat so fast, plugged their ears up, and got out of there.
Well, it's not their target demographic.
Well, I mean, it is Hessel in the music at Hessel in the Park, so
Yeah.
you know it's not going to be your
Right.
your normal metallic band, heavy metal,
Yeah.
whatever you call
Not
it.
their venue, yeah.
Yeah.
1st and 15.
But back what you asked, no, I will not be attending the Sweet Corn Festival.
Handoff. No, it's a keeper for Phillips. And Phillips has got a hole here. Phillips is going to get inside the 30. It'll set up 2nd and short.
You know, I think when they called that play on the first play of the game on our offense, I think that's what Coach Walker had in mind right there. We're just now seeing it with 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Urbana picks up the pace. It's 2nd and 4.
I think that was the biggest yardage play of the game for Urbana.
Close to it.
We have not had we've had less than 100 yards total offense tonight, especially with all the losses we've had.
Broughton in motion. Whistle blown.
I'll start.
Tigers move on next week to face Centennial at Tommy Stewart Field. After
Well,
that,
Will we be broadcasting
we
that
will
game?
not be. But I do plan to see if I can get out there with my laptop and a microphone, call the game myself, or if you want to join me, maybe you can. And,
Well,
and
well,
upload.
as soon as I finish asking that, I realized that I will not be here next weekend.
Oh, well,
So it actually works out that we're not doing it.
certainly. Yeah, I'd like to get out there with my laptop and a microphone. call the
Otherwise,
game.
I would join you.
No,
You know I
no,
would. I'm always there.
No doubt that you would. A loss of yards for Phillips.
Especially now that I got the whip,
With your ride.
Yeah.
What you driving?
That should remain undisclosed.
Oh, man. Yeah, really. You don't want anyone stealing it. That's what.
Actually, the museum called me back the other day and asked if they could put it in their
Man.
back in their
In their
automobile exhibit.
Yeah.
They called me back the other night looking for it.
Phillips is going to get it away. It was not going to go for a gain of anything. After Centennial next week, the Tigers move on to battle the Lions of Peoria Central. We highlighted that game. That'll be covered on the Tigers Media Network on September 8th.
Yeah, that's a brutal 3-game stretch right there. Peoria at Danville, at Notre Dame.
At Danville and at Notre Dame. Follow that on the 15th and the 22nd. We're back home on Saturday, September 30th at noon for homecoming football.
Two of those last 3 games are winnable, Joey.
Lincoln and Manual. Lincoln,
Should be winnable.
Lincoln, our Week 7 matchup. Manual, Week 9. In between those is Bloomington. This is completed. This is going to go for a touchdown, Urbana. There's the score we were looking for. The crowd comes alive. No flags are down. The celebration begins.
Johnny with Furia.
Let me tell you about Johnny. He has stuck with this program for 4 years, and that's the payoff right there.
Yep.
Phillips to Athera for a touchdown, Urbana. 43-6.
Johnny's been dedicated for football as long as I've known him since
Middle
first
school,
grade.
since
I've known him since first grade. Yankee Ridge, football every day after school. That's it. That's a shining moment right there.
It is. His first reception as a varsity wideout.
Perfect throw by Christian Phillips too.
Awesome. Right down the sideline.
Right on the money.
Yeah.
And Johnny's got speed, so.
He's little, but he can get going. The Tigers will go for 2.
And we'll move back 5 yards.
Oh, they called timeout.
No.
Look
So
at
that no more running clock.
clock would still run.
That at 40,
Yeah,
30.
it's 30 point. Yeah,
I said that
so.
myself, and I.
But once it hits that point, it gets going. A look at the schedule for Normal Community next week is actually their senior night. They have their senior night, their opening game of the year, and it's against Bloomington. A little crosstown rivalry action there.
That should be a good game.
It should be. They move on to face Peoria Notre Dame Week 3, Normal West Week 4. Notre Dame and Normal West on the road. Then they have 4 home games in a row. You want to talk about a lucky draw. Peoria Richwoods on the 22nd, Bradley Bourbonnais on the 29th, their homecoming game against Centennial on October 6th. Danville is their Week 8 matchup. That's on October 13th. And Centennial on the road to close out the season on October 20th. And then they will likely have some playoff games after that.
I would not bet against that.
Band kids are still having a fun time. That's good to see.
Got a lot of fun in the student section right now. Big game, I want to say. Well, we'll wait until after the 2-point conversion attempt. It's Phillips, man in motion. That's Broden. And Phillips is under pressure. He's going to roll to his right, and he's going to throw to the back of the end zone. Caught! The Tigers get the 2-point conversion. Johnny Wathira again makes the play.
Nice sliding grab there by Johnny.
Man, that's a highlight reel-worthy play.
Is he developing into a new number 1?
Yeah, I would say so. 2 great catches. The first one a catch and run sort of deal, and slide to the ground there on that 2-point conversion attempt. The Tigers get it. It's 43-8.
Christian and Johnny for 2.
Get used to saying that, perhaps. As the Tigers marching band breaks into the fight song. Oh yeah, I was going to say the volleyball team, a big matchup on Monday. St. Joe comes to town. That game at the Oscar Adams Gymnasium. That'll be a big one. We won't be covering that one, but it should be a lot of fun.
Oh, final 3:45. 3:45.
3 minutes and 45 seconds.
You know, last weekend I was in Maryland, and you know,
right, as people, you know, as is a popular vacation destination.
It's not, but
my
I don't.
Maryland condo, you know, that I frequent in the summers.
Yeah, yeah. Right on the old battlefields of the Civil War.
Yeah, it's a beautiful view. This is an onside kick that had too much on it, and it will go out of bounds. Ooh,
whoa!
What was? Here, a little kerfuffle. Easy, guys. Mayweather McGregor's tomorrow night. Flag is down. I didn't catch the fight. I was watching the ball go out of bounds.
Yeah, I seem to do that a lot too. Looked like
Josh
was involved.
Marshall brings a lot of intensity to the field, and Coach Adams.
Looks like he might be escorted out of this game.
It appears that way. So what were you doing in Maryland? What was?
Family reunion.
Okay. It's nice.
Got lots of family up there.
All right.
I don't know why I brought that up.
Yeah.
Just, you know, I was there a week ago, and
yeah,
I'm here now.
Sure. So,
you know.
3 fouls on the play. We'll see what they are. An unsportsmanlike conduct called Normal Community. And unsportsmanlike conduct on Josh Marshall. Yes, that was an awful call. As the fans boo. I don't know. I don't mind a little skirmish here or there.
Yeah, it's like the third one, though.
Yeah.
There comes a limit.
Certainly. That's what I'm saying. You know, I think, you know, I don't.
Yeah. Our guy hit the other guy.
Well, I knew that. I figured
that's
that.
Why
I didn't see it. Yes.
That's why he's walking. That's why
he's no longer in
gone.
the game. Yes. But you know, I don't really.
Yeah, and they already knew before they even announced it. Like, Josh knew immediately that he was gone, so he just started walking that way with Coach Adams.
And you know, I'm sure he'll have some people angry at him after the game, and I'll leave the anger to those people. I don't really know. I like the passion.
Sure, Waller and Stark are not too
enthused.
Not too proud of that moment.
No.
Just like what was the guy's name last year?
It was
Leading receiver.
Yeah, Alonzo Davis.
Yes.
Got into the fight in the Bloomington game.
Yes. Right on the sideline.
Yep.
Yes, that was not a proud moment. Our good friend Steven was back on the sidelines during those days.
Steven did not go out for football this year, but he's helping us out. He's down on the computer tonight. Bringing a lot of energy to us. He's
very enthusiastic kid.
Every time we do make a nice play, he'll pop his head out of there, up top, and as if we didn't see it. First down, Community. Almost to 2 minutes, 2:10 left on the clock. Inside of 2 minutes now. Miller, I wouldn't imagine that Normal Community is going to try and keep the pressure on. I think it's.
I'd hope not.
They'll run plays and whatnot, but it's for the most part is game over here.
Work on their running offense.
Work on their spin moves. This will go for a loss. Several Tigers made the tackle.
We can practice on our tackling, as that is a very important skill in the game of football.
Yes. Yes, it is.
You cannot win without it. Well, you could, technically.
Yeah.
It'd just be very, very, very hard.
Be a very fast-paced game.
It would be. I'd like to see that game.
Everyone returning, every kickoff return for touchdown, it'd just be who won the coin toss could decide that one. And how long the kicks were taken to,
Or who gets the most two-point conversions.
Yeah. And this will go for a first down. Community. That will be one of the final plays of the game. 50 seconds left. So, Miller, let's start now. Final takeaways from the game. We had some positive stuff that we can build on as the season goes along.
The Christian to Johnny connection at the end of the game was nice to see. I mean, that could be a future quarterback to wide receiver connection right there. That was good to see. A nice pass by Christian too. He's had a rough night. Not his fault at all. I mean, lots of been under pressure, and the one time he gets a good look and fires a rocket touchdown.
Yeah.
A nice catch by Johnny, and then a nice catch by Johnny in the end zone. So that was a bright spot. And then I thought the first half defense was good on the defensive side in terms of tackles for loss. Maybe not in terms of big plays. We did give up a lot of big plays tonight. But
there was a time in the middle of the first quarter, second quarter, we didn't give up a lot on defense. We did a good job in that regard. So that's our final score. The Ironmen win it 43-8 on opening night for high school football in the state of Illinois. And Miller, it was a lot of fun up here with you, as it always is.
Yep.
So
looking forward to our next broadcast, which should be against, don't tell me, Peoria Central Lions.
That's football on the 8th, but on September 2nd, we bring you Tigers Soccer on the Tigers Media Network. That time to be announced. So for our whole crew, Stephen Thompson, Jason Liggett, Miller Calhoun, I am Joey Wright. Our final score, Normal Community 43, Urbana 8. We thank you for tuning in to this presentation of Tigers football on the Urbana Tigers Media Network. Thank you.